At Invo Labs, we'd like to show you what's under the hood. We'd like to show you the inside of Pleo, what makes a Pleo a Pleo. Right now, Pleo's sleeping and resting, and that's okay. Now, some of you that had trouble in biology class that, well, didn't like to see that frog dissected, you really don't want to see what's under the hood, I'm going to give you a few seconds to shut this video down. Are you sleeping there, buddy? This is Pleo without its skin. I'm going to walk you around, show you the features of Pleo at this point. You'll notice these silver strips. These are his touch sensors, which allows him to feel. One on its head, its back, its butt. Each one of its legs has a sensor. And the best one is under his chin. As you know from playing with Pleos and petting that under the chin, he really likes that. You'll notice the complexity of the tail mechanism, how many components it takes with the cables. The neck is a very complex mechanism. To improve Pleo's sensors, we give him hearing. As you can see here, we have sensors for hearing, and it's stereo hearing. On his nose, he has a color camera, has infrared for detecting edge and communicating with other Pleos. Inside of his mouth, there is a mouth sensor for detecting when something's in its mouth. Inside is an orientation sensor for which direction he's being held. He knows when he's upside down. On the bottom, he has sensors on his feet to know when they're touching. He has a power switch, a battery, SD card, USB port, and this button right here. Pleo has a series of clutches in each one of his joints that help him survive impacts and movement. You can hear this through the torso. Something you don't want to do, but it can survive these. All joints have this type of clutching mechanism. To help us, we've now taken this clutching mechanism and provided a force feedback. Anytime you move one of these joints, Pleo knows it's been moved. Whether he's turned off, he'll move it back to where he needs it to be, or if he's running and you move it. And this is Pleo without his skin. What you see in front of me is Pleo. There is a lot of parts here. I'm going to go over them kind of step by step and show you what goes into making a whole Pleo. This is the Pleo skin. Each skin is hand painted on the assembly line. Over here we have the main shells that cover the outside of Pleo. This area here is the tail assembly. There are 19 components that make up this tail assembly. Here we have 14 motors that drive Pleo. 14 motors in this thing. Each motor has a feedback to let it know location, as we talked about earlier. Here we have the gear assembly boxes. These gear assembly boxes were designed to allow very precision spacing between the gears. This precision spacing allows us to get by with smaller gears and to make less noise and to provide efficiency also. Here you can see we have 108 gears that run Pleo. Now I counted them, there's only 106. I lost 2. That is another good reason never to disassemble your own Pleo. Over in this area here is the neck mechanism. Very similar to the tail as far as cables go. Here is the head area where you've got the 2 shells for the head, the jaw, the eye mechanism. These are the front paws here and the feet. We have 68 feet of wire that it takes to make Pleo. 176 screws to put him together. 15 PC boards and 5 processors that's required. All of this gets put into this small package. Oh, and let us not forget the battery. If you think you have trouble packing for a holiday, imagine us getting all of this into this small Pleo. This was accomplished by the wizards at Invo Labs and the manufacturing strength of Jetta.